and just, all right, this is our defensive tackle of the future. Right? Here's the guy who's going to play 3. He can play 4. He can play a little 2 if you need him to. Like that dude that's going to anchor the middle of this defense, I think would be absolutely awesome. Chrissy made a great point here. He says, haven't heard any issues with Savion's hands in camp. Chris.
How about these hands?
I remember one of the very first practices, one of the OTAs, him bobbling a pass. And I remember thinking, crap. Like he just didn't look comfortable catching the ball. Since then, you're right. Tim, have we heard anything about Savion's stroke? Now, he's missed some time, don't get me wrong, right? But sounds like the hands haven't been an issue up to this point.
It sounds like that's the only quote-unquote knock on Savion. Like we were talking about a few shows ago, like can he stay on the field consistently? Because when he's out there seems to be little to no issues. Obviously, he's a rookie. He's going to develop and iron out the kinks or whatever, kind of work his way into his own as an NFL receiver. But the only quote unquote negative with that guy is how many reps are you going to get before he's got to go to the sideline? And so far, since dealing with this to this point in camp, he's rounding the turn, looking pretty darn good. And future's bright for Savion and the Packers, honestly.
Yeah, Amelia, I want to go to you on this Marshawn Lloyd here in a second. Kamal Hadden, though, broke up a slant to Romeo Doubs after returning from a hip injury, so Kamal Hadden had a little flash. Marshawn Lloyd back from the groin injury, cut back on an outside zone run for a gain. You read that update there, right? That was pulled, AI pulled off the internet for me. Just, all right, cut back on an outside zone run for a gain. Great. Here's Matt Schneidman's take on that play. Marshawn Lloyd juke and just drew oohs and ahs from his own teammates. Dontavion Wicks had hand on chin, mouth open like he saw a ghost. Is that not – listen, I'm not trying to compare Marshawn Lloyd, who hasn't played really a meaningful snap in the NFL yet, to a Saquon Barkley. But you guys remember when Saquon did the reverse hurdle and everybody on the sideline just lost their mind? Kind of gives you a little bit of that vibe. Mm-hmm. I think Marshawn Lloyd could be something special, man, if we could just keep him on the field.
Yeah, it's like those you ever seen those one-on-one clips that come on your reels, Clay, where it's the corner versus the wide receiver? Everyone's around him. All you got to do is put him on skates. And once you do, man, that's the kind of stuff that brings a team together right there. I mean, yeah, you got one dude that took the beating, but I love that Marshawn's got that sort of, elusiveness to him. I'm glad that he can get side to side, without kind of losing his step. If he's that explosive and can do that, I mean, hey, we got an elusive back that can follow up Josh Jacobs and sort of pound on the rock. I think that's a perfect, tag team combo.
Yeah, let's go around the horn with that real quick. What do you guys think would be a good year for Marshawn Lloyd? Not great, but just like, okay, that's what we wanted to see. What do you think? Give me a stat. Give me yards and maybe just rushing touchdowns.
How about him passing Emmanuel Wilson for RB2?
Yeah, I mean
that would be a good indicator, right? Like if he works up that depth chart.
Yeah, to me, it's not a knock on Lloyd. I think just to me, like Tim just said, I think Emmanuel Wilson has just earned it so far. I'd even argue that Chris Brooks has earned it. Like you said, he hasn't played a meaningful snap, that being Lloyd. And, that's not necessarily his fault or anything like that. But I'll tell you what, when you watch that guy, again, his USC highlights are unreal. He's a one-cut, very shifty back who also has a little bit more kind of, the spin move, the jukes, all that kind of stuff. Almost seems thick. I was going to say he's got a little more power than people, I think, give him credit for as well. Now, that being said, it's tough to have all this hype on him. I think I saw, was it Dead Fit? No. Somebody in the chat just said, put this dude in bubble wrap until week 1 and then let's see what he's got kind of thing. Like, I'd like that sentiment kind of just because I want him. I just want to see what he has on the actual field against actual competition, and if that translates into the NFL. If you had to make me do a stat, I think what Ron right here says, 450 and 4 tuds. Sure. For me, I'd argue that I want him to play and be eligible to play 10 games, 12 games. I'd look at that as lots of progress. But
that's why I push back on the bubble wrap him until week 1.
You want him to get those knocks in?
Throw his ass out there on Saturday. Let's go.
Yeah.
Get him on the field if we can.
I think I would agree with that too, man.
I mean, going back to last year, look how much time he missed. We got to get this guy on the field immediately.
Right. Yeah. Let's see what he had to say here. This was tweeted out by John Miller. I want to get the rest of your take there, Tim. He says, I won't ruin it here, but he's talking to Marshawn Lloyd in the locker room. Hopefully you can hear it. I apologize if it's too low. Here we go.
Oh, I can play. I'm ready to go. I can play. So the thing about our training staff is they wouldn't put anyone out there if they're not physically or mentally ready to go, and I'm ready to go. So they put me out there, and I'm just being able to just do my job. That's it.
You're ready to go.
I kind of agree with him there too, Tim. The way this training staff is, they're usually pretty conservative in that regard. If they had him out there, they think he's ready to go, right?
Yeah, I agree. And, I know that the training staff has caught some heat the past couple of years with injuries and stuff like that, but I'd rather err on the side of caution. I mean, they've taken the cautious approach and look at the injuries we've dealt with. It's the nature of this game that we play in, and bottom line, if Marshawn says he's ready to go, I believe this staff believes it too, because they've been watching him every step of the way, helping him get back. So, and we got to see, we were just talking about, you got to throw him out there in live game reps and see if he can take that wear and tear that a running back needs to take in the NFL. I say 30 snaps or more, the sooner the better for this guy.
Right. Because it's not like it's happening from being overly physical by somebody else. You know what I mean? Like he's not getting injured by getting cracked or, getting run over by a linebacker. Or anything.
It's more soft tissue, like non-contact
and it's
stuff.
not something he's doing, right? It's not poor technique or he's like injuring himself by playing improperly, right? It's just kind of things that have happened.
Shoot, I'd be happy if we could get him over 250 rushing yards and just stay healthy this year. And whatever happens all purpose, if he gets another 150 receiving, get him over 400, cool. If we can crack 5, even better. I just want him to stay healthy and get a couple, 15, 20 yards a game rushing. That's it.
That's what Coach Lynn said. That's all I want to see is him healthy all year long, right?
Yeah. Yep.
That's it. And you can see what's his feet.
He can prove to be like a super reliable third down back, right? Like in a pinch, even if that's how you got to work them in, right? Those third and shorts and just
with the speed,
pound the rock with them.
And when we broke down the tape of him at USC, Tim, you'll remember, ran a lot of power, right? They ran a lot of GT, a lot of pull and guard tackle combo. And I'd love to see him in a duo look.
Oh, my gosh.
You guys could maybe Bates or somebody in the chat, could you let us know his receiving stats as well? Because I want to say that he was a serviceable back that actually could take the ball out of the backfield as well.
His receiving is tough.
Sure
It
is.
surprised me one bit, man. Again, the thing that stood out to me was the GT power plays and Daniel Jeremiah going, this is the best running back in the draft.
Right. Yeah.
He's kind of that happy balance of power and finesse, right? He's got a little shake and bake, and then he can lower that shoulder, lower the boom.
He does kind of got that Emmitt Smith build, right? He said it reminds me of a quicker Emmitt Smith. Now, obviously, we're not saying he's going to produce like the great, arguably, I wouldn't say he's the greatest, one of the best rushers in the history.
He went on to clarify body type.
I'll give you a comp. Emmitt Smith's a pretty good comp. I think of Thurman Thomas. You guys remember Thurman Thomas?
Oh, dude. That might be one of the most underrated backs in the league.
Yeah.
You know what he reminds me of? Emilio in the lacrosse field.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was lacrosse you played, right, Emilio? Wasn't it? Is there a difference between lacrosse and field hockey?
Oh, yeah.
You do that, you're going to get your ass kicked in that.
What's the difference, Emilio? Help me out
I think, don't girls just play field hockey?
Field hockey is basically played on the ground. Lacrosse is played in the air, pretty much.
Oh, we don't give him some.
I got you.
The ball travels in the air instead of on the ground.
Got it. All right. There you go. You heard it from a fan right here. Let's move it along. Let's get back to the article here real quick, or the breakdown, I should say. So we talked a little Marshawn Lloyd. Let's keep it moving. False start by Kadeem Telford led to a replacement by Brant Banks at left tackle. So they had Kadeem at left tackle, and obviously got a false start. Me no likey that, Jan. Linebacker Tyron Hopper forced a fumble on running back Emmanuel Wilson. Later, nearly broke up a pass to wide receiver Matthew Golden. Bill Huber put a tweet out that said, Bill Huber put a tweet out that said, Hopper just crushed Wilson for a forced fumble. He was all about the celebration as the ball bounced around before a teammate finally picked it up. So sound like you guys remember when Charles Woodson, they did a nickel fire. He sacks the quarterback. They strip him. The ball's bouncing up the sideline. Clay Matthews is trying to corral it, and Charles Woodson's on the sideline flexing, and the ball's bouncing up the sideline, but he don't even know the ball's still in bounds. Clay's trying to pull it in. We need to pull that clip sometime. Absolutely hilarious. That's what it made me think of. But Bates here says I guess it's in 2022, right? Marshawn Lloyd at USC had 18 catches for 176 yards, 2 touchdowns, And then in 2023, he had 13 catches for 232 yards with no touchdowns. So again, I didn't feel like they used him as a receiver a lot there. It was just those power plays. He was so patient in the way he ran, and when he's just kind of a one cut and go guy. Yeah. And that's not
those receiving numbers. It makes you feel good, right?
Oh yeah.
Like you said, you're not even going to really want to utilize him in that way, but if you have to throw him the ball, he's going to produce.
Yeah, no doubt. All right. Sticking with defense here, pass rush strong, sacks by Quay Walker, Rashawn Gary on Sean Clifford, Devontae Wyatt on Taylor Elgersma, Edgerrin Cooper on Elgersma, and Gary forced a high throw. So it sounds like the pass rush was hitting home today, albeit, the backup QBs there. It's worth noting, right? Linebacker Isaiah McDuffie stopped runs by Josh Jacobs and Tucker Kraft. Tucker get a handoff? What's that about, right? Safety Katan Oladapo broke up a pass to wide receiver Will Shepherd on a 3rd and 1. Linebacker Isaiah Simmons stopped the check down to Marshawn Lloyd. All right. So, and then here comes the Musgrave talk that we mentioned earlier, right? Malik Willis hits Musgrave for a 30-yard touchdown on the first play of the 2-minute, turned on the Jets and got behind the defense. So that might have been the one you were talking about, Jacob. Maybe they had clocked him at 22 miles an hour, you said?
I believe so. Yep.
And then, unfortunately, Rob says, now Luke Musgrave is slow to get off the field a few plays after a deep touchdown catch. It appeared he may have gotten rolled up on. He's trying to walk it off on the sideline. I didn't hear that was significant afterwards, so I think he was okay. You guys correct me if I'm wrong there in the chat. So
I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Be huge of Musgrave.
Or physician.
Oh, dude, that'd be so huge. Can I just show real quick? Bates said that the 23 season, again, going back to Marshawn Lloyd's receptions, he said he was averaging 17.8 average per reception. Shows potential for sure. That's, I think, the stat that I saw where it was like they didn't even really try to use him, but when they did, he was pretty good.
I'm assuming that's a lot of yak, right?
Lots of yak.
Yeah,
throw him that ball in the flat, give him a blocker, and let him go to town, right?
Yep. No doubt about it, man. It's still wild, too. You see that and we go, wow, 17.8 per catch. That's huge. Christian Watson last year averaged 21.4 yards per catch.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is insane, dude.
Emilio, did you see what Goody said when he was asked about Christian Watson's recovery and the timeline?
I think I dozed off on some of that. Let me hear it.
So they basically said that at the beginning or at the end of the year that they kind of looked at Christian Watson as being maybe we'd get him back by the end of the year type thing of this upcoming season. He says now that the timeline has shifted and it's about mid-season, he also they wanted to say that he looks so good right now that after the 4th week, they're considering the fact that he is just so farther along schedule than they expect him to be at this point that they have to tell each other to not allow him to come back.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Basically, I remember that. He was like, oh, you seen him run out there right now. You almost want to put him on the field right this second.
Right.
Right. Yep.
And they did say, like Coach Lynn said, something about holding him back. He said, yeah, he'll start on the pup. And as soon as we get to week 4, he made it sound, I'm kind of paraphrasing, but Goody made it sound like, yeah, it's probably going to be everything we can, to hold him, to keep him off the field. He's going to be really chomping at the bit to get back on the field. So.
But then he did reiterate that he wanted to protect his career going forward. He says we do things the right way. We don't want to force him back, and that was obviously what got him in this mess in the first place. Is Christian champing at the bit.
And Tim, when he said that, like we want to protect his career, and he I can't remember exactly how he said it. My ears went up like that. Sounded like they plan on trying to extend this guy.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean you can read between the lines, right? Kind of judge the vibe, but bottom line, if this wide receiver room did not look like it did right now, we'd really be wanting Scoot back sooner than later. We'd be like, if he's ahead of schedule, get him on the field. It's nice to have the talent pool that we have right now with guys like Savion and Matthew Golden, and hopefully a healthy Bird and a healthy Wicks at some point. We've got Romy Rome in the house. There's talent in this room. Yeah, Malik Heath, we've got some dogs. So, the fact that Scoot's ahead of schedule is good. It almost makes you want to, use that fact that he's ahead of schedule to make sure you don't rush him out there too soon, because we've got talent that can, hold us over until probably at least the bye, right? Yeah. I'm the one who predicted 4-0 going into the bye. I still think we can get it done. And hopefully Scoot comes back for that that Cincinnati game, maybe week 6, would be like super early prediction. How soon are you going to see him?
Right.
And also remember, like, you know, you get the green light to be back on the field, and then, okay, you're in pads, you're on the sideline, you're dressed, you're ready to go. That's a far cry from, you know, Matt working you into the game plan, you know, consistently. So that's going to take time. But either way, man, he's ahead of schedule. Like, that's what we want to hear this time of year, right? We don't want to hear that he's had a setback or anything. So all things look good right now with Scoot.
Right, because you're going to want to skill him up when he comes back, too. You're right. We're not going to drop him in there and ask him to play 40 plays first game back. So,
Yep.
Right. Great point. A couple things here. United Base says, sorry, just to be clear, Lloyd's 22 season was at South Carolina. He played his last year at USC. And to be completely clear, I didn't see any tape of him at South Carolina. Every bit of footage I watched was actually at USC. Yeah. So thank you for that clarification there. Bates, you are the man. Jen Wright, I love this, what she says here. Christian Watson going to cook Pittsburgh. What if his first game back is Pittsburgh? How cool would that be? Going up against Aaron Rodgers? Let's go. Let's go.
Built ass.
All right. Practice stops with Dobbs down. Couldn't quite haul in a deep pass. This is Bill Huber. Evan Williams held up but hit him. Didn't seem like much, but it was all so fast. Reed, Watson, and others check on him. He's up now. And I think he left practice, but the vibe I got was there's nothing, you know, too much to worry about. Although I think the media did say they tried to talk to him on his way out, maybe. And he just felt he refused to comment type thing. So, which, you know, obviously.
I think I saw that play. I remember it. I don't want to speculate, but maybe like knock the wind out of himself or something, you know.
The worst.
Something, I don't know.
That is, the worst.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, late highlights. Here we go. Willis to Musgrave for the 30-yard touchdown. We talked about that. Elgersma to Nair for the touchdown. Was that a touchdown you were talking about? Was it a touchdown, Tim, that you were talking about the catch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. I think that was. So that was Air Canada. That wasn't Malik that threw that one?
That's what it looks like here now, unless he caught 2, but we'll get to the play of the day. Maybe they'll specify a little bit more.
Okay.
Jacobs, nice run with the block by right guard Sean Ryan. So Sean Ryan showing up a little bit. On 3rd and 4, Kingsley and Igbare limited Jacobs to 2 yards. On 4th down, Simmons sacked Willis, leading to a post-whistle INT by safety Evan Williams, his first of camp. Matt Schneidman put a tweet out about that specific play. He said, Isaiah Simmons shot out of a cannon up the middle for a sack to end 2 minutes. Jeff Hafley throws his hands up in the air. Willis heaves it anyway, and Evan Williams picks it off in the end zone. Kamal Hadden is pretending to whip McCole Hardman with the belt. I'm going to need that soundbite, Tim, anytime now, sir.
No, we'll just give you the image right there.
Now throw the soundbite with it. Love it.
Belt to ass. BTA.
Could you imagine Kamal Hadden pretending to whip McCole Hardman with a belt?
I saw it. We don't have to imagine.
Yeah, just I saw some comments in the chat here. I didn't get to talk to you guys about the PFF grades from that first match. Obviously, there was a game. Obviously, there was some stuff happening that wasn't great, but Nick Muswain, bring back Sammy Watkins. Come on, bro.
Bring back Sammy Watkins.
Do that, you're going to get your ass kicked. And then
it's got to be a joke. He's messing it. They
got hold to the wrong stuff.
Go ahead, Jacob.
What do you guys think? Because we kind of, I wouldn't say called out, but I definitely remember that we talked about how we needed to see some more out of Enigbare. Definitely needed to see more out of Wooden. Needed to see, I think it was 2 or 3 other players, and they were the highest graded players from PFF wise, if I'm not mistaken. Do you guys remember that at all?
And Enigbare was Wooden graded out in the 50s.
He did grade that low? I thought he had a better game than that.
Well, many people said he did. I disagreed. All I seen was the swatted pass, but then you heard the coaches; they were kind of glowing over.
That's what it was. Okay.
So yeah, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I watched the tape and I seen something that Matt LaFleur did. You know what I mean? But yeah, some of the players that really stood out with the PFF grades, Kalen King was one we called out in the post game show. He had a great game. Obviously, Amar Johnson did. Brenton Cox Jr. was one we called out. Baron Sorrell, he had a fairly high PFF grade as well. And, of course, Jordan Morgan was the pleasant surprise. I'm excited to get into that tape.
That was the biggest one for me, was him what is it, like 40-plus snaps?
It's like at least 36. It might have been more than 40. But, I just remember his footwork. His footwork looked phenomenal, man. And listen, I'm not an offensive line guru, but you watch his feet on those pass blocking snaps against the Jets, albeit it's a preseason game. I got you. But it was just like, holy cow, he looked patient. Tim, the way he would lag back that inside hand and just he just looked comfortable at left tackle. He really did.
I thought Belton, like Coach said too, Belton showed some stuff on there as to why he looks like a freaking road grader, dude.
Yeah, definitely. All right, back to the practice. Surprise, surprise, Emilio, kicker Brandon McManus, perfect on 6 field goals, including 3 from 50-plus yards. Let me explain something to you, Emilio. The first thing I do on Madden every year now is I go in and edit his accuracy. They got him like a 73 or a 74 overall.
Shoo! That's terrible.
What are y'all watching anyway, man? That's the first thing I do. I'm like, this is me going to the edit screen. Like, I'm changing that rating right now.
I watched that guy kick into the wind for like 15 minutes today, and everything was money. So,
yeah, you know how like after 50 yards, the thing just starts going back and forth super fast, Clay. You can't keep up with it. For him, it's just cool as a cucumber. Not just like hitting an extra point, man. I'm telling you, you just find the middle.
Unbelievable, man. They don't know what the heck they're doing over the game. So, all right, lineup notes. Offensive tackle Rasheed Walker with a groin. Got some reps, but Jordan Morgan took most first-team left tackle action. So, to me, I could be completely wrong. Y'all let me know if you disagree in the chat, in the comments if you're watching the video later. It kind of feels like, and it's early, that Jordan Morgan is taking that left tackle job a little bit. Am I wrong? Like, do y'all see that different? Let me ask you, Emilio, how do you feel about it, man? Like, it just, I don't know, man. What do we have on Rasheed Walker? He's a great pass blocker, not so good run blocker, right? That was the tape last year. You come out this year, right? You can't make the club in the tub. He's making the club, but you might not be a starter if you miss all this time. They want Jordan Morgan to be the left tackle of the future, it seems. Am I wrong, man? It kind of feels like Jordan Morgan might be creeping in the lead there at left tackle. What do you think?
I think you're kind of spot on there. The thing is they also have a lot of tape on Rasheed, right? So if you know what you're getting in one aspect or one player, what do we actually have in Jordan Morgan? I think that's what they're trying to figure out, keeping him at the left tackle, right? Just slam him with as many reps as we can at that spot. If we know by week 1, perfect. If not, then all right, Rasheed's here, perfect. We have a backup plan. Then we could look at, all right, is he going to be able to take over midseason? Is it going to be because on top of that, he did the rotation with Sean Ryan at guard. What's going to happen if Rasheed gets in a rotation with him? And then, they're doing that for a while. They weren't afraid to do that in game. I don't know if Rasheed's going to love that, right? But if they're still wanting to get game reps for him at left tackle, I think it's a possibility. And I think, like you said, Rasheed being hurt, it's not going to help you make that or keep your spot. There's a few people that really hold that overall, one spot overall if you're still hurt. And I would say Rasheed is not one of those.
Yeah, Jen Wright here. See what Morgan does in joint practice. That's a great point. Let's get him out there Thursday and see what he does against another team for sure. So excited to see that. All right, number 2 offensive line at times was left tackle Kadeem Telford, left guard Donovan Jennings, center Sean Ryan, right guard Jacob Monk, right tackle Anthony Belton. No clear backup center to Elton Jenkins. I would disagree with that. I feel like the backup center is Sean Ryan.
Yeah.
Y'all see it the same way? Okay.
I do. I agree. Right. I mean, he's the most consistent in that spot, I think.
Yeah.
Even going back to last year,
Again, another great segment that I'm ruining, but wouldn't it be cool to see like the most surprising extension? I'd say Sean Ryan. If they were like, look, we know what we got.
Heard it from a fan right here.
Just because I'll be the first to admit, I was not very high on Mr. Nacho Libre. Year 1, year 2, and all of a sudden he started to kind of grow on me. I don't know. What do you think about that real quick, Emilio?
He's got that mean streak too.
Yeah,
that's
mean.
the thing that I really like about him.
Yeah.
By the way, not your shirt, Emilio. Let's make a low ultra shirt. Go ahead, I've seen it.
We saw him playing well on tape though, right?
Yeah.
Right, Clay?
Yeah.
We were watching some film from Saturday. Him getting over and pancaking somebody after the snap. So I would agree.
Tim, to that point, I think where he's come from is impressive that he's gotten to this point. Wasn't he the first one that Matt called out for being a little too thick? We actually needed to clean that up a little bit. So kind of stick your head down and work for it. The guy has done that. The guy's gotten better. With his footwork, he knows what he wants to work on. He's one of those guys that, put me in at nose guard on defense if you need me to, coach, I'll do it. But I like that we have him as a backup center. I honestly would say the third would probably be Zach Tom, and we would bring Belton in and move the line around that way. But I think as a quick option, Sean Ryan as a second string center is where we would land.
That's a great point because, think of his rookie year, right? We had the PED issue and the suspension.
Yeah,
and then we had him, overweight and these kind of things.
He's gone all the way up to the edge, right? He's
right.
looked over that cliff for a second and said, "Oh man, I could actually lose all of this." Tomorrow.
Well, that's a guy that knows what the other side of the coin looks like, and he's not going that way, and he's progressed ever since. Every mistake he's made, I think he's made a concentrated effort to correct it, and
to fix it.
You can't tell me that he's not a better player than he was a year or two ago.
And
I fully believe he is.
In the chat, if you guys could correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought that he was late to football. Like he was more of a wrestler, and I think that football wasn't really his big thing until later in his career or later in his life. So maybe it just, he's one of those guys that takes a minute to kind of figure out the type of game that they can play in the NFL. I mean, I don't know if I could even if you gave me another 6 inches, another 100 pounds, just the fact that you have that size and weight doesn't mean you're going to go to the NFL and be able to produce. There's so much more involved with trying to be a great football player. And sometimes it takes a while to figure out what your niche is,
Thick.
Things here, yes. Travis Glover is an all 5 position kind of O-lineman, man. Anywhere on the O.
He can play tight end too, can he, Amelia?
Hey, you got to overload left or right, man. He's the first one out there, I'm telling you.
Coach is saying he heard Glover may not be done for the year.
Come on now. Let's put him on pup. We can get him back later.
Unbelievable, man. All right, let's go rapid fire here. We talked about the offensive line. Safeties with Xavier McKinney out, Evan Williams, Javon Bullard in the base, then Bullard kicked to the slot, and it was Williams and Katano Ladapo there in the nickel defense, that nickel 4-2-5. So that stayed the same. Base linebacker trio also stayed the same. Quay Walker in the middle, flanked by Edgerrin Cooper and Isaiah McDuffie. So it feels like McDuffie is going to be that Sam backer as it sits right now. Number 2 secondary, cornerbacks Kamal Hadden and Bo Melton. Slot, once again, Kalen King. Kalen King getting a lot of reps at slot. That's exciting, man. I think based off what we've seen in the preseason game, he played really well. I would almost give him my player of the game just based off the tape I watched. I'm really excited to see him in week 2 of the preseason. That's another player. Him, Barron Sorrell again. I want to see those guys kind of show up again, Player of the day, surprise, surprise, Edgerrin Cooper. Deflected and intercepted a pass from Malik Willis on the first play. Recorded a tackle for a loss on a screen pass to Emmanuel Wilson. So he's picking passes off. He's sniffing out screen passes. Tackle for a loss on a run by Chris Brooks. And then he stopped tight end Tucker Kraft immediately after a bootleg completion. Yeah, it's looking like we got us a dog in Edgerrin Cooper, man. So excited about that. Here's the play of the day we talked about, Tim. Matt Schneidman, what a catch from the newest Packers wide receiver, Isaiah Nayer. Elgersma went deep left, and Nayer tracked it well in the air for another touchdown in 2 minutes. So did he catch 2 then? Sound like he might have caught 2, huh? Another touchdown in 2 minutes? Of course, he could have just been referring to the offense maybe.
Yeah, probably. I think there was a couple TDs.
And here it is.
It was one from Willis and one from Air Canada.
Got it. Undrafted rookie made a diving over-the-shoulder catch in the end zone on 3rd and 6 from quarterback Taylor Elgersma. Utilized his 6'4" and an 1/8" height and 4.4 40 speed. Described it as one of the toughest catches in football. So, yeah.
Yeah, that was the thing of beauty. I mean, Ray Nitschke Field erupted when he laid out and caught that ball. It was incredible.
So,
and then you know where my eyes went to? Did he secure it to the ground?
Right.
And I'm like staring, and he did. It was a big boy football play right there for sure.
Wow. So did we? The question is, did we just find our next great practice squad wide receiver?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Yes. What was that on Step Brothers? Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Yes.
All right. Training camp schedule. I thought about the magazine they mentioned, which is hilarious. But anyway, training camp schedule. Next practice Thursday in Westfield, Indiana. Joint Packers with the Colts. They're not going to be smoking a J with the joints. They're having a joint practice.
Right.
With the Colts.
Just the tip, though.
Preseason game Sunday at the Colts in Indianapolis. I thought it was Saturday. That's actually Saturday, right?
Yes.
The game? Yeah, Saturday.
Yes, Saturday. And that's a noon kickoff Central Time, I believe.
It's a nooner.
So Emilio, just so you guys know, this is what we got on the tap for the weekend for me and Emilio. We're going to be he's going to be on the road while I'm doing hopefully the post game show, heading up here to JC. So immediately following the post game show, we're going to hop in the car and we're going down to the Redneck Brawl.
Do that, you're going to get your ass kicked in that.
Somebody is. Somebody is. I'm just telling you, if you guys don't know what Redneck Brawl is, you're gonna lose brain cells if you look it up, but it's worth it. It's my goodness, is it something to behold. So we're gonna be going to those live fights on Saturday night.
The timing worked out perfectly. Clayton was actually worried he was gonna miss the game again. And
Clayton, I just want to know, how are you gonna handle that? Like, are you gonna pull for the Kentucky fighters or the Tennessee fighters? Like,
Tim, I'm just hoping I don't see a relative in the ring. You know what I mean? That's what I'm concerned about.
Do that, you're going to get your ass kicked in that.
It's telling you guys, when we get done here tonight, just go to YouTube and type in Redneck Brawl and go to their shorts, go to their channel, go to their shorts, and enjoy the show. Make sure there's no kids in the room, okay? But anyway, quote of the day here. Running back Josh Jacobs, and this was reported by Bill Huber. Shout out to him. He's done such a great job this training camp, man. Oh, my God. Bill Huber's crushed it. Quote, this is from Josh Jacobs. We know what Malik is and what we have in Malik. Obviously, for him, it's just more so a year into the system, more comfortable in the system. You see him make throws. He made a few throws today that was like, wow. Just him being more comfortable and him being the leader. I think he's naturally a guy that he puts in the work. So I think he's going to succeed. We have the ultimate confidence in him. So it's going to be fun to see how he does in this joint practice. So that's another thing we haven't even really talked about. This joint practice, Jacob, it's going to be the Malik Willis show, man. We're going to get to see what he can do against the Colts in joint practice.
Yeah, I'm all here for it. I'm very excited about it. I think that, as we highlighted earlier, Malik Willis is ready to lead this team, understands his role, understands that he's got a limited time to be QB1. And during that time, I think he takes it very seriously and understands that, there's work to be done here. It's not like coasting time. We don't get to sit here and phone it in for the next couple of weeks because the QB1's not on the field or in those practices. I also heard Josh Jacobs talk about how he expects it to be very chippy. He expects those guys to come out and be aggressive. And, it's always that double-edged sword. I heard them talk to Goot and Matt LaFleur and say, how do you get your guys up to that level of being aggressive enough so that we play at the level we need to play and not too aggressive to the point where we're gouging eyes out and Bill Romanowskiing each other. So he said, it's a tough one. It's a tough line to walk, basically. But if anybody can do it, I think the Packers can do it. I'll be more interested to see that Colts game because I think that chippiness is going to build into the game. And then we're going to probably see our first dose of real guys wanting to, pop the other freaking one in the mouth. You know what I mean? So I'm very excited about that.
I think Holmes just went and watched the video of the Redneck Brawl, and he said, Mandy, please save Clay from himself. Clay, that is I don't know if I'm allowed to say that or not, to be honest. I don't know what's allowed.
I don't know if you're allowed to say that anymore.
Anyway, so that's something poopy there. So anyway, Tim, you got this awesome footage here. I know most of what we showed already is just Covington kind of setting the stage, getting ready for practice there, and then you got some clips of the guys. Talk to us here, man. This is awesome footage, by the way.
Yeah, we might be able to run some audio, too, if you want the sights and sounds of football here.
And Clark leading it off, right?
Yep. You got Coach Covington there, and then, of course, VO in the background. He's, the guy that keeps the piss hot for sure. But just guys doing the, stab, grab, release. We've seen this drill a number of times. They do this almost daily, kind of to get practice started. If you notice, they're looking at the guys to look after they engage.
Yeah.
We've seen them do these drills where they'll hold up, one or two fingers and ask the guy to call out what he sees, trying to get that head around so you don't get caught up on the block. It's the little details that make all the difference. And, You know, everyone talked about how it's kind of different this year with this D-line group, and it's due to Coach Covington coming in here and just changing the approach and the way he works with these guys, for sure.
Looks like, we always refer to that as punch and peek, right? You're trying to read the running back while holding your gap.
Yep.
What do you think, Emilio?
Yeah, I was just what caught my eye was the footwork. Each of them did 3 sets. So you're doing, one set with your feet forward, then you're square up, bam, and then your feet back, opposite feet. But everyone's on their toes, leaning forward, weight forward over your knees. I just love his approach. I think they really do appreciate all that extra work he's putting in. But just that little thing, you're doing the same rep 3 times, but you're moving your feet 3 different ways. Still trying to train your brain to pop, snatch, release, all that stuff. I just like to see it.
Yep.
What's crazy too is that it feels like for the first time in a long time since Hafley's been taken over, that the drills we see him doing actually seem like they can be applied in real life football scenarios. Whereas in the past, I'm not going to throw shade on the old D coordinators and everything. The chat does that enough, but it's just like you said, to be able to engage, to try to shed the block and look like it. In years past, it seems like that when guys got engaged with blockers, they just kind of turned off. You know what I mean? Like they didn't even attempt to try to shed, to look up field. They were just completely engaged to the point where the running back, whatever it may be, just jogs right past him with no effort from those guys to try to break off that contact. So I'm personally think that this has been the most intriguing drills that I've seen in the offseason, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Like it's been very cool to watch. I think
it's Covington. A good point. I really do. I think it's a good point, Jacob. And I don't know if it's better or worse. I think it's just different, right?
Yeah.
Coach Montgomery was awesome, but I think Coach Covington brings something a little different. You see here, he stole the PVC out of my kitchen sink. And,
aisle 28,
today.
Aisle 28 at Home Depot.
But you just see him working on the hands, right?
No, yeah. I mean, and he only used the clear glue. I mean, he didn't prime it with the purple stuff, right?
No.
We just like glue to it.
Oh, it's clearly primed. I mean, Kenny would have ripped this thing apart if it wasn't, right? I just love it that they're going like, kind of conventional but unconventional. And you see Coach Covington here like stressing the details like Emilio was talking about. It's not just your hands, it's your feet, and then it's your eyes, and it's all 3 of these separate things working in conjunction with each other. So we've seen medicine balls, we see the cones, we see PVC pipes, we've seen tackling dummies, we've seen them throwing tennis balls at the guy. I mean, it doesn't matter what they need to do to get the job done, but they're clearly focused on the technical aspects and the fundamental side of football with our defensive front. It's really fun to watch. It really is.
What's awesome, too, is this was all Bill Belichick approved. He spent so many years in Bill Belichick's building, learning under arguably the greatest coach in NFL history.
Covington did?
Yep.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Covington was a defensive assistant there. And then when Bill was let go, Jamad Mayo took over as Gerard Mayo. Took over as head coach, and he promoted DeMarcus Covington to DC. Now, listen, they had a bad year, but DeMarcus Covington was handpicked by Bill years ago as one of the young up-and-comers. Like, you think of how effective Josh McDaniels was as an assistant coach for so long in New England. Never worked out as a head coach, right? But Bill's got this eye for talent. Covington played receiver in college, and then he went into coaching, landed with New England years later. And I want to say he spent like 6 or 7 years under Bill. So,
he looks young, and he looks like he can still play, dude. Look at that guy.
Oh, you should have seen him setting up practice today when they were setting like the pads and everything out. Like he was running drills just to make sure everything was where he wanted it. He was diving at the tackling dummies and
that's awesome.
Throwing the forearm. It was awesome.
Yeah. And even that, it's kind of like a little awkward. Your arms are fully extended. You have a little bit too much weight over your feet, and you're still working on, get to your gap. But I like how he's having them shuffle to either side. And start it one more time, Clay. Run it from the beginning. All right, watch the coach holding it. He goes, "Oh, okay, yeah, I got this. No problem. No problem. Wait for my man Kenny to get up here. I'm telling you, this coach was ill-prepared at first.
Ball King's over there like, give me a ball. I'm not holding these kitchen sink pipes anymore.
Whoa, come on,
this for a minute. Look how big Kenny is compared to Covington.
Look at that.
Kenny is, and then look at Gary.
Look how big Rashawn is compared to Kenny.
Right, it's just monsters, absolute monsters. So anyway, let's see. All right, so this is what Emilio's talking about.
Hey, watch this, coach. All right, no problem. I can stand like.
I got you.
Whoa, hold on. Let me get reset here, Kenny. Change the whole stance.
Love it. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun year, man. I'm excited to see this defensive line grow. Let's see. We got something else here. We got our boy LVN this time, Tim.
Run this one with sound.
Real quick.
Ooh.
Let's watch it one more time with LVN.
Look at Jacob coming in playing tackle right here.
He had to put his cigarette out real quick first.
Oh, look at working on a little read option.
Yeah, looks like it.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Basically, what he was calling mesh, or he was calling different looks and asking the guys to maintain the edge.
There you go,
Nice.
right there.
Yep.
Yeah, like right there. That's the whole set the edge. You know what I mean?
Right there. You give it. You don't hold A.
Bingo, Emilio. You got it.
Come on now.
You know what's up. And when you guess wrong, it's ugly.
It's ugly.
It's ugly.
See, and I love watching Brenton Cox Jr. do this drill because this was his Achilles heel coming out of college. The guy was he had two speeds. It was either A to B or it was just him kind of over pursuing everything. And to see his progression and them working on that specifically, I really like the way that he's kind of evolved his game.
And on Chalk Talk tomorrow, that play made the cut where he attacked the mesh point of the zone read, the read option. So
Brenton did?
Yeah, Brenton Cox.
Nice.
Yeah, we got
Very
that.
good, very good.
All right, Tim, you got another one here. This is just them hanging out in between reps, right? I remember.
Yeah,
correctly.
you could kind of get a little. We probably can't run the audio for that one.
Okay, yeah.
Rashawn had a few choice words, but go to
you make
X
me want to run
and
it.
check it out. Yeah,
So here's the tackle and roll, right?
yeah,
Hit and roll.
yeah. Yep, wrap and roll right here.
Wrap and roll.
This is the one I was talking about. Coach Covington was doing this by himself before practice when they set it up. But just working with the edge guys again on proper technique. And, it's the little nuances of the game that make all the difference. You know,
Yeah.
if you engage properly and you wrap up properly, tuck and roll properly, you're putting yourself and your team in a better position to make plays, and you're not over pursuing or you're not playing bad technique. And you see Coach Covington here takes the time to stop between reps and show these guys exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah, and Coach Lynn, correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, but this is kind of multifaceted. One of the things is when you tackle a player, if you just tackle and wrap, there's a chance you slide off. They go high knees, they break out of the tackle. When you tackle and roll, far less of a chance of them getting out of that tackle. You know what I mean? So,
Yep.
yeah, Coach, these are Tim's. He was
Yep,
there,
yep.
boots on the ground. Tim gets there early, and I mean, Tim, you got to be hanging the camera over the fence, dude. It's
I
unbelievable.
am not. I am doing no such things. Just
I imagine Tim's out there.
How do you?
I'm just a guy standing around some guys watching some ball. That's all. That's all.
I imagine he's laying like a professional photographer on the ground,
Right.
getting every angle. So this is good stuff.
I was just gonna say
That's
That's me after practice.
exactly. What about
Coach
this
is
one?
asking, are you on the actual field, Tim? Are you
Pretty close.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty close.
Yeah, he takes a bit of turf with him each day, right?
he
Yeah, I
does.
try to.
Let's get this sound right here. LBN and Kenny together. Oh,
Oh, I love that.
He's so forearm to that thing.
Break it. Come on, man. Break it. You hear that?
yeah.
That's Coach Ogabasi. Look at he's pacing around. Break it. Break the sled.
Yeah.
Oh, I got it. It's a punch out drill, and then the other guy's getting the fumble. I
Yep.
see. Love it.
That's cool.
How much
Again,
weight is that?
just the drills, they just seem different. They seem more like
Intense.
yeah.
With Stackhouse. That big paw. Watch that big paw right here from Stackhouse. Look at that. It looks like Mandy when I get to take the trash down. Right here. Man, that's good stuff, Tim.
Yeah, I
All
just
right.
want to give you guys a little close up look at what we see out there, and it's intense. Jacob's right. It's a different vibe this year. I think really it's cool to see Covington and Ogabasi and Coach Davis working together, man. They've got something humming with this group,
Yeah. No doubt, man. All right. We're way over. I'm about to get in trouble. These are awesome, man. Let's get a couple. LVN.
Yep.
That's just the opposite side of that same drill, I believe.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yep.
Zone read, working left and right. That's one thing I'll say about their edge room is, Emilio, they definitely cross-train those guys. Like Gary can line up on the left, he can line up on the right. LVN, same thing.
Mm-hmm. Makes it easier for the defense so that they know both sides, know the whole play, know which stunts they're doing, and harder on the offense for just that same, okay, he's flipping, he's setting me up. Oh, wait, never mind, I got LVN this time. Wait, Rashawn came back over, never mind. And I like that LVN still got both his thumbs taped, right? Let's keep those things, nice and sturdy. I mean, I would imagine that most of those guys want those things stiff as a rock, if you're trying to go in there and engage in the pads every single time and then shed.
Just the tip, though.
That's a great question here, Tim. Maybe we overlooked it. Coach Lynn says, where's my man Wooden at? I don't remember seeing Wooden in any of those drills.
I did not see Kobe Wooden in these drills today.
It's very interesting. We'll keep our eye out for that then, right? Keep our ear to the screens. And then, of course, you got to get the Brandon McManus video in, don't you?
Oh, this was great. I caught this on accident, so it's kind of hard to see, but there's Brandon just, splitting the uprights as per usual. And if you look at the net in between the uprights, you can tell the wind is blowing directly in their face.
Yeah.
So when I was recording this, these are all into the wind kicks. And you can see, McNamee back there with McManus just kind of soaking up some game there and getting some pointers and just, really learning the specifics of the kicking game. And who better to learn from right now than a guy like Brandon McManus, right? So pretty cool.
All right. So there you go. There is your camp open practice number 14. Dates. That was a lot of fun, guys. That was a lot of fun breaking that down, hanging out in here, talking a little ball. Tim, thank you so much for the videos, dude.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's awesome.
Happy to help, man.
Can I share one more quote that I thought was really inspirational?
Yeah, man.
Mr. Tuck Norris, a.k.a. Long Dart Marlboro Man himself, they asked him basically, I think it was in references to like Jordan not being around and how that works and how they have to build trust as a team together. His quote was, "Trust is built in raindrops and lost in buckets." And I was like, oh, damn. Tuck Norris getting deep on it. But really, honestly, it made sense. Like those small, it takes so long to build things up and so quickly to ruin them. You know what I mean? And you could apply that to any point of life, whether it be your job, your relationships, a podcast, if you will. It's slow, tiny increments, getting better and better each day. And if you're not careful with what you do, that can all go away so quickly and so easily. And I just thought, man, Tuck Norris, he just keeps getting better and better, dude. Can you imagine what would happen if Nick Saban got him in Alabama? Like, I don't know if he'd be on the Pack. You know what I mean? Like, it's just crazy to see that.
In threads for sure.
Yeah. So anyways,
I know this, man.
I'm not going to, so quit asking.
My marriage is covered in raindrops right now, and I'm about to go crying. I'll see y'all.
You're going to get your ass kicked in that.
That's what he's saying right now. So, hey, thanks everybody. This was a lot of fun talking ball tonight. We'll be back tomorrow for PTA Live. Shout out to Aaron Rodgers with the super chat, Brenton, Indiana with the super chat, Aaron Rodgers being a member for 3 months. Chris the Casuan, a member for 10 months, and Aaron Rodgers with another super chat. Thank you so much for your generosity. We'll see y'all tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. Central Time for PTA Live. We'll do a little more kind of look at the roster, reset, how we feel about the camp battles. And on the second half of the show, we'll do a little chalk talk, show y'all some footage from the Jets game, some positive footage, all right? We're not going to make you watch the bad stuff. So we'll see y'all tomorrow. Everybody have a wonderful evening. As always, let's go out and be the change we want to see in the world. Go Pack.
Here we go.
Bye, guys.